Dinner with Friends podcast. Y'all hungry?
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Dinner with Friends podcast. I knew you were, but you didn't have the mic up, so I didn't. Today we're joined by Jos Duncan Asé, and as well as my lovely co-hosts Taylin and Nathan are also here. And today we're going to be discussing all themes from involving love, attachment styles, Delulu climate, and many more things that just involve love in general and how we get to love in its purest form.
Thank you, Journey Moses.
You're welcome.
You forgot to introduce yourself.
Oh, yes, I'm Journey Moses. Sorry. I love my friends.
And we love you.
Oh, now we're friends?
Yes, we're always friends. Stop.
Okay.
So we're going to move on to You Ate That, where we shout out a special person, place, or organization based here in the city of Philadelphia that helps improve the quality of life of the citizens and just everyone in general. So I'm going to send that over to Nia, our special guest, and she'll be able to tell you more about who today's special shout out is.
Hi, I'm Nia with You Ate That, and today we are shouting out the Blackwells. The Blackwells are a couple who was featured in Love Now magazine's second issue. They are a local activist duo that spreads love through activism. Together, they host a monthly open mic for youth just to give them a space free of violence, and they also hold food drives for local communities.
Thanks, Nia.
That was amazing.
Go, Nia.
Come on. Now, today we're going to be talking about relationships, situationships, anxious or any attachment styles, really, and so on and so forth. So I want to know personally what your guys' whoa.
Ring, ring.
It's always so loud, too.
Every single time.
I didn't hear any. Oh.
Hello. You said what? You outside? Spin a bliss. All right, cool. Bye-bye.
Who was in now?
Takeouts here, guys.
Hey.
All right.
And look who's in here. Our sponsors. This episode and all of our episodes of this season of Dinner with Friends podcast is supported in part by Every Voice, Every Vote, which is a collaborative project of the Lindfest Institute of Journalism, with lead support provided by the William Penn Foundation. Learn more at www.everyvoice-everyvote.org. Editorial content is created independently of the project donors. And in true Dinner with Friends fashions, we're taking it out on the streets to see what the people think about this upcoming election.
So today I'm at Rec Philly, joined with
Chloe.
what's one problem in Philadelphia that you would change?
Homelessness. Definitely homelessness.
Now, a lot of people would also say that voting is a surefire way to ensure progress. Is voting something that's personally important to you?
Definitely. Most definitely. Like, as soon as I turned 18, I think that was 2020. That was the year of the election with President Trump, former President Trump, and now President Joe Biden. And I definitely got out there. Like, I was out there. I made sure everybody else was out there. I was polling and stuff. So even with like local elections as well, I get out there for my district and my ward as well.
My last question is, because we're in Philly, I have to ask, the city of brotherly love, what does love mean to you?
Loving thy neighbor. That's what I'm going to say. Loving thy neighbor. Love on each other. Like, just make sure people around you are good. Even if you don't know them, you see somebody on the street, just saying hello, just brighten somebody's day.
Well, now that we've had our takeout, I feel like we should know. What food are you feeling like on this day?
I think we should start with our special guest.
Yeah.
Oh, we should start with me.
Yes, this is our tradition.
Oh. You know, I'm going to say this, and this could go viral for the wrong reasons.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
I'm feeling like sushi.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I was on the edge of my
what?
seat.
So I'm like,
Why would that be controversial?
Okay, if you guys don't know, right, this is your audience is probably not even my generation, so it's fine.
So can you explain?
Right.
I shouldn't.
Okay. You feel like sushi? Why?
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
sushi.
why do you feel like sushi?
Because it's the ingredients are usually very fresh.
Yes.
It's usually very
so
like
fresh and so clean.
right, very very handmade. There are there's a little bit of warm with the rice on the outside. Usually there's some kind of a raw like fish.
Yeah.
You know, it's all wrapped up. Are you guys starting to get a sense of why nobody should ever say they feel like fish?
Wait, no, I don't get it.
You don't get it? I love that. No, let's keep it moving.
I'm sitting here trying to piece it
I
together,
know,
but
I
I'm
feel
also
like it's
just
gonna hit me later
at some
on.
Is
point,
this
and I'm
an
just gonna be like,
innuendo?
we're
oh.
gonna be deep in our conversation. I'm gonna be like, oh, okay. That's
I
why.
think I get it.
I'll
You
say-
know, and I will say that I grew up on the ballroom scene. And so if somebody says, I'm feeling like sushi, it's like, it's a whole different thing. But it's okay, guys.
I have my speculations, but we'll hold
It's
that
all
till
right.
later.
Yeah, it's all right.
I would say that I'm feeling. Now I want to know.
We'll discuss later.
We'll discuss. We'll talk about it.
I will say that because I'm looking in your direction right now, and right past you are like these flowers. I'm craving lychee.
Whoa.
Like
That's
you know,
beautiful.
Not sure
like
how flowers
the
came into
lychee
play.
that goes in like boba tea or even like a lychee martini, something like that.
lychee's
Just
a
something
ball.
lychee flavored, something like, or maybe even rose water. I don't know.
That
I love
sounds
adding rose water to
amazing.
my,
No.
you know, the perfect drink, lemon with rose water or water with lemon and rose water. So good.
Sounds like lavender would be good with that as well.
Oh, 1,000%. I just
Yeah.
spent way too much time describing that. How about you guys?
I was gonna say boba, which is weird, but like fruit tea base. I don't like milk base. I'm not a milk based boba person.
She likes the mango green tea
I-
boba.
You know my order. That's so
do.
special to me. I
Thank
love
you.
mango green tea boba with mango popping boba and aloe jelly. That's what
Yeah.
I feel like. I feel like that's so me. That's what
Yeah.
I feel like, and that's it. That's the explanation. What do you feel like?
A cup of whipped cream.
Oh, a pop cup.
No,
Oh,
Well,
a cup of whipped cream.
okay.
yeah.
The specification means a lot.
Yes. It's not for
Yes.
dogs. Tricks are for kids.
Love it.
Thank you.
Now, back to the conversation
Okay.
at hand. Relationships. we talk about this on the daily. Just
We
for
do.
Yeah.
prior context,
do,
just
we
like we talk
do,
about this
we
on the
does.
daily, different relationships as young adults do gossip about their personal lives. And we came to the conclusion of including relationships and love and, you know, the pros and cons that come with that, specifically just because of the stories that we always share with one another, whether it be situationships that don't necessarily work out well, whether it be discussing our different attachment styles, or the fact that some of us are in happy relationships like you and Taylin.
I'm not in a relationship with Taylin.
No, no, you know. Okay, so we're playing like that.
I had to tease you.
That seems to be the theme of the day. But I'm looking at Journey. But we just wanted to start by talking about attachment styles because that's something we talk about a lot. Specifically, how that relates to, you know, your relationships with people. It can even be friends too, because anytime you hear like anxious attachment style, avoidant attachment style,
Do you know
People-
your attachment style?
you said what?
Do you know yours?
Oh yeah, and we'll get into that.
Okay.
But a lot of the times people relate that immediately to a relationship or a significant other. That could also be your friends. That could be how you deal with
Yeah.
people on a
Yeah.
daily basis. So I want to ask you guys, for the camera this time,
Okay.
what do you think your attachment style is?
I know my attachment style. I'm trying to remember. I believe that I'm a fearful avoidant. So I have a lot of the same aspects as anxious attachment, as to where I feel like sometimes I just be so scared that you just don't love me. But instead of me throwing myself in order for you to feel my love, you don't get to feel it. No, I'm going away. So like if say if I call my boyfriend and my boyfriend don't call me back, I'm never calling you again, ever in life. Now, I will call him back in about 2 hours, but it's a process that I have to go through. And before I get to the calling back stage, I'm never calling you again. You have to call me now.
Is that something you want to unpack?
Sure. Okay. I'm not quite sure how to unpack it, but yeah. So this is a thing in my life where, like, if I call somebody and they don't answer, I'm not calling again. And so then you have to now call me, and then I won't answer. And then when I do answer, it's, oh, well, why did it have to take all this for you to answer? Because you didn't answer my phone call 2 months ago. Why would you do that?
So you essentially just touched on the follow-up question I was going to ask everyone as a whole, but we can do it individually. What do you think causes your attachment style?
I think what causes me to be this way is that I have a hard time accepting good things for myself, and I have a hard time accepting that people love me if they're not in my face, because I'm such an in my face lover that it just doesn't. I also got that stuff, so I just don't understand certain social cues where.
What's that stuff?
The tism. You got a rhythm with the tism.
Okay.
Yep. So yeah, I think I just don't understand certain, like, nonverbals. So if we're not speaking, obviously you hate me. Duh.
That's how you perceive it?
Yes.
Okay.
What about you?
Wait, can you list them for me? I don't know if I know mine.
So there is anxious, there's avoidant, there's fearful, and there's
Healthy.
Healthy.
Secure.
There's
Secure.
healthy. Yes, secure. And I
I
believe
remember.
there's one that starts with a D that I believe is, like, disassociative.
That might be a subsect of one, but
Yeah.
I think you named all four.
Yeah.
It's fearful, avoidant, secure,
and anxious.
and anxious. Yeah.
I might be avoidant, as much as I might not want to admit it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I
That
just
makes sense.
always feel like whenever, like, something, like, presents itself in my face, whether it's, like, romantic love or, like, friendship love, sometimes I have a hard time of acknowledging that's truly what I see. Like, and it's mostly probably because of doubt, like, believing that, like, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Or not necessarily believing that, like, oh, someone could want to be my friend or want to spend time with me or want to be around me.
I want to be your friend.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're so welcome.
I think, though, it's more so of just, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I think it is a me problem. I know a lot of people are like, it's me, not you. But, like, I think it genuinely is me. Because, I don't know, I get bored. Like, as unfortunate as it is to say, it's sometimes hard to, like, or maybe it's not that I'm bored. I'm just very independent, I would probably say.
Do you feel the need to be chased?
Oh, I do enjoy chase, but
Yeah.
that's a different conversation. No, I feel very independent. Like, I like to do what I like to do, and I want you to have stuff, friends, anything, like any relationship. Like, I want us to both be able to enjoy stuff independently, where it's not, like, on beck and call. And then I also would like us to enjoy stuff together, and when we're together, we see each other in person and everything. Yeah, because, like, if I would ignore a call or, like, not text back because, like, I can't have a conversation right now, and it's to benefit you as well as me. If I can't give my all to the conversation, does this sound like I'm making up excuses?
No, it's not even like it's not the missing the call that gets me. It's the missing the call and then maybe not sending a text like, hey, I'm busy right now.
I would send a text.
You know what I mean?
I would send you a text.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
See what I mean?
Joss, how about you?
So, I mean, my take on this is that all of us can cycle through different attachment styles based on how healed we are in our journey.
Yeah.
So I think there are times when I have been anxious and I needed healing. There are times that I've been fearful based on maybe a relationship that I was in. And I was like, this, I want to run away. And then there were times that I felt very secure. I feel very secure right now, but I also had to do a lot of internal work in order to get there. Fun fact, founding Love Now Media, I was afraid. I had like a fearful attachment style to the word love. And so I didn't really want to include romance as a part of the work because I was afraid that love was something that could come and go a little too quickly for it to be sustainable. And so I was like, we're just going social justice, wellness, and equity. And then over time, I started to really value romantic stories and the impact that love could make. And so I think for me, I have experienced all of these attachment styles.
I always love speaking to seasoned adults about this, specifically because
I need you
so much like
because I think right now, being in like our late teens, early 20s, it's very easy to see like to only have foresight to the next couple of months or like the next year, and you think like this issue that I'm dealing with right now, how I'm processing this, it's like the end of the world. Like I would definitely describe myself as anxious. I'm like a very, if you don't text me back within the next day, you hate me.
No,
and like I will like any vibration I get on my phone, I have to check. I have to be like, oh wait,
do you put your phone on do not disturb and then check for notifications?
Because I have to like force myself to put my phone on do not disturb specifically, just because I check it so much, and I'm very much like a wait, whose story? Like, did you view my story? Like, I'll post something just like, did you view my story?
The trap. The story
yeah. Like, oh, are you
Common.
gonna view my story, but you're not gonna reply to me?
Because you
there's so many
viewed my story, but you didn't answer my call. But you were on TikTok, but
don't
you
like
didn't
the
answer
story.
Me.
Let you
on
like the
Instagram
story
for the last 23 minutes, and you didn't see my text.
Absolutely. And I know myself well enough to know that I think it's just like seeking the validation of the other person, and it's just like I need you to like me just so like I know, and it's not. A lot of the times you don't even like the person. You're just looking for that validation of like, oh, someone likes me. And
that's why I love unrequited love.
You know, and hearing you say that you age out of that through time and experience, like sometimes it'll get worse before it gets better. Sometimes it'll get better, then it gets worse and it gets better again. Hearing you say that, especially with founding a company and being where you are right now, that you've also experienced those things. I think those are the conversations that a lot of young people need to hear, that like these people that we look up to as grown who are in like married relationships, they've been in the same positions that we've been in. They've dealt with situationships, people who don't want to give you all their attention, people who are just playing with your emotions. And at the same time, I'm going to flip that coin. There's some times where we accidentally become those people too.
Oh, yeah. I also think that there are opportunities for us to kind of inquire or assess where we are in terms of our own self-love. So when you have that moment and you're feeling anxious or you're like freaking out or like scrolling in your story to see if somebody didn't text you before they saw your story or whatever, that's an opportunity for you to say, whoa, something's insecure in me right now. How can I love myself better? You know, so I think those are signifiers. So it's a good thing. And if you come to appreciate that instead of judging yourself or instead of like, you know, doing weird things, like some people start texting the other boo, you know, when the first boo doesn't call back. Some people will be like,
Josh, you had a roster, Josh?
Huh?
You had a roster?
What is
a
that?
A roster of hoochies.
Oh, well, I will say that there have been times in my life where I may have had more than one person I was dating.
Okay.
And so if my primary person didn't respond in a way that made me feel secure, then I may have went down the roster and contacted someone else to give me that sense of security. But now, even as a married person, I sometimes have to like address, whoa, what am I feeling? What are my actual needs, even in a marriage? And I think a lot of people don't do that self-work. And some people find that even in a marriage situation, they still feel anxious or fearful or something like that. So I think when those feelings come up, invite them, like take a minute to be like, okay, this is what I'm feeling. How can I love myself better? How can I fill whatever void I'm experiencing with my own sense of self-validation?
I think, to piggyback off of what you said, I had like an aha moment while you were talking, because at first you said insecure, and I was just like, whoa. But then I was listening to what you were saying, like, embrace insecurity. Like, it's not, there's this connotation behind, you hear, oh, you're insecure, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, I'm not that. Like, and then you you listen and like, wait, I am. And
there's an
okay.
insecurity in hearing that you're insecure and being like, no, I'm not.
Yeah.
Because if you were secure in your insecurity, you'd be like, yeah, I'm insecure.
Yeah.
And
it's like natural.
I'm sitting here thinking
everybody gets insecure.
Wait, yeah. Shout out to Issa.
Okay.
But I like genuinely, I'm sitting here thinking, because it's like, oh, that shows insecurity. I'm like, does it? Yeah, it does. You got to be secure. Oh, that was a good quote.
Thank
now
you.
that I'm playing that back in my head, you got to be secure in your insecurity and understanding that like you are going to have faults.
Yeah.
And that a lot of the times, for some people, it's like seeking validation through other things. For other people, I know a lot of the times with avoidance, it's shutting down the conversation. Like, it's shutting it down before it can hurt you, which is a whole different
That's
level.
What I do.
Yeah. And I mean, that is how it is. I mean, you can't necessarily change that. Well, no. Let me not say that. It's not that you can't.
Yeah.
You can't change that's the cause, but you can change how you react to it.
You know what's crazy? What Joss was saying about being, like, understanding that sometimes you'll get insecure. I did a really big thing. What was this? Just like 2 days ago, I did a really big thing. And it wasn't an argument, but I had a dream. And it was one of them dreams that it was like when you're like, you have a dream about your partner talking to somebody else, and they're definitely not doing that. But it was like, why would I have this dream if you weren't doing that, right? So then I had an attitude all day. And instead of, I did start shutting down. I'm not gonna lie. I did start shutting down. But before I shut
from
all
your
the
dream,
way,
Taylin?
Yes. Yes, because it's a different level with me, because when I dream about stuff, it happens. Like, I be having deja vu dreams, and I actually had one when I was sitting in the green room with Nia, and it was just like random moments. So I was like, okay. And I'm not gonna lie, this dream very clearly was a dream, but it doesn't matter. I was upset, and so instead of me picking an argument all day, I took a walk. And I wrote out my feelings. And then do you know what I did? I communicated my issue.
I'm so
like
proud
that.
of you.
Like that.
I was like, wow. And everything was fine. Everything was solved. It was never that big of a deal. I was like, wow, this is amazing. This is amazing.
I think that's really cool. And I think some of the issues that we experience in our love relationships or our friendships or like the ways that we attach often stem from childhood.
For sure.
Either before you had the language to communicate your feelings, or before you had the agency maybe in your family position to say, hey, it hurt my feelings when you didn't call me for my birthday, or when you weren't present, or when you traveled knowing that the family was going on vacation. Or there's so many different things that happen, and we process those, and that those things end up becoming our love languages, our attachment styles, the way that we interact with, our families and other loved ones. And so if you don't have opportunities to heal those things, you think they're simply a part of your identity. But it sounds like you have now found some tools to help you and support you, and you've been able to use them, and who knows, over time your attachment style could change.
I also just have a really great boyfriend who's really patient with me, and I love him so bad. Sorry.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yes. I love that for you.
Thanks.
Now, we also have, I'm assuming, all found ourselves in situations or situationships that aren't necessarily the healthiest for us. In that same vein, why do you think we stay in those?
Guess.
What keeps us there?
I think sometimes we attract parts of who we are. And so there are parts about your soul that want to be reflected. And sometimes there are negative things that you may not have dealt with. And you might attract someone who has those traits, and they help you to see parts of yourself that you don't like. So you get to choose to stay in relationship with that person. You could also call that relationship that part of yourself. If you want to stay in relationship with that part of yourself that you don't like, then you will accept a person who is treating you in a way that you really don't like, because it's reflecting that part of you that is still in you. But when you make a decision to really address those open wounds and heal, you'll find that either that person will fade out of your life or you won't have a desire to be around them anymore. So I think sometimes the other part of thinking about those moments of insecurity when somebody doesn't call you back or whatever, sometimes that's something to celebrate, because it means that you have probably grown to the point where they no longer feel that they can control you. They no longer feel that you're the person they want to cling on to, because you're not as vulnerable, not as emotionally reckless, not doing something that was keeping a person that like kind of had some energy that wasn't healthy for you in your life. So yeah, so that's my take.
You know what's crazy? In regards to finding yourself in a situationship with somebody who reflects a part of you that you haven't healed yet, I have found myself in situationships with somebody who is definitely reflect a part of me that I have not healed in myself. And what I decided to do instead of healing myself somehow was try to heal them and try to fix them. That is not how that works. It's not gonna work. That's not how that happens. It's
Yeah, I think you realizing that though is such a good step in the right direction.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, that one resonated with me.
Yeah.
I'm very much a fixer. I'm very much
me
like
too.
I could, you know what, like I could do it.
I can fix you. No,
I
can
could
fix
be
you.
the therapist.
Yeah.
You know what, tell me all of your issues. We could sit here and we could talk.
No,
Absolutely
and the other
not.
thing is I love so fully, and I want to
Blindly,
be in
too.
blindly, and also I want to be in your soul. I have to put myself in such a place where we have to be one. And again, that probably comes from like I just want to get married. But go ahead. What were you saying?
I could paint the red flags green.
Yeah, no.
I could. Which
Made my voice crack.
And that's something I'm definitely working on. I'm like I could look past that. We could like work on that. I could fix that.
Yeah. If we just talk it out.
Can I share just like a real quick news story actually?
Yeah.
I don't know if you all were paying attention to what was happening in Paris with the triathlons and all of the games that were happening in the Seine River. Did you all pay attention to that?
And how they were not supposed to swim in the Seine.
Well, yeah, for more, so this is, I'm getting to the point here. So for more than like 30 years, people weren't supposed to swim in the sea. It's spelled like Seine, but it's called the Seine River.
I wouldn't swim in the Seine River either.
Yeah, it's beautiful though. It's an incredible, like when you see it, it's beautiful. It's gorgeous. The idea of having some of the races in the river are incredible. And so when Paris found out the Olympics were coming, they were like, we're going to do what we have to do to clean up the Seine River so that the games can actually happen in the river. They spent $1.5 billion to clean up the parts of the river where people would swim. They said the only thing that could kind of mess this up is if it rains during the Olympics, because then all of the trash and the rut and the poop would come from the overflow. And so the mayor and all the officials said, we're going to be okay. We did all of these things to try to fix this river so that people will be able to swim during the games. And on the first day of the Olympics, what happened?
It rained.
It poured. And all of the poop came up to the surface. Ew. So
that is such a beautiful analogy.
Yeah, it's basically how it is when you try to fix someone to create a situation that you think will work for you. If the poop is still there, it's eventually going to come to the surface.
That's a quote.
Because the poop's not going away unless it's in a toilet. And why would you want to be in a toilet?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you exit? How do you remove yourself from a situationship?
From a situationship that's not healthy for you? Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm going to be honest. I don't think any situationship is healthy per se.
Yeah, that's because it's a situation.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's not, the difference is that a relationship can be called a relationship. However, a situationship
can never be called a relationship.
Because situationships are undefined. You never know. There's no healthy communication. There's no proper boundaries that are defined, and that's where the lines get blurred.
And love doesn't work without boundaries.
Exactly. So in line with talking about situations and being in unhealthy ones for the matter, how do you remove yourself from that?
Well, I think an easy thing, and I would say because you guys are kind of young, a soft way to do this is just to make a list and name your feelings. Because sometimes you're just holding on to those feelings and it gets confusing and it's all in your head. And you're like, I'm not sure. I know I feel good when this person is around, but then I feel bad when they're not or whatever. So just name exactly what you're feeling in the moment you realize it's a situationship that is giving you mixed feelings. Name the parts of you that love the situation. Name the parts of you that feel hurt. Name the parts of you that feel confused. And I think if you can start to look at that list, you will start to see things on that list to say, okay, I know why I'm allowing myself to feel this thing. It's because I was hurt in that past relationship and I'm in a pattern right now, or because of the way my father maybe deals with my mother, or because of something else I've been through. Once you see that list, you'll be able to get a little bit more clarity for yourself. And then I say, just sit with yourself and invite the parts of you that that need more to ask for more, and be gentle with yourself. I don't think it has to be abrupt. I'm not going to be in this situationship no more. Like sometimes you go through things so that you can see those parts of yourself and so that you can feel, because when you feel this isn't good for me, that's actually good for you, because then you get to make a different choice for yourself. So I say, name your feelings, name what you're experiencing, and be gentle with yourself.
Okay.
So beautiful.
Do you know why we chose Jos to be our guest
Yes.
for today?
Yes.
Because she's the CEO of
Love Now Media.
Not only is Love Now
Capital
Media
L,
the company
capital
that,
N.
or organization and or just community of people that we produce this podcast to, it is also built on love. And I feel like the greatest person to speak on love, especially to people who need to hear it, is someone who's built an entire company on love.
And exudes
And you
love
just proved
everywhere
that.
they go.
You do exude love.
Joss walks into a room and it's just like
Just
love.
love.
I'm glad you guys feel that.
You.
That was beautiful.
Go ahead, Taylor. Just
Thank
give
you.
us the ha ha ha.
Oh.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Right.
Okay,
All right.
sorry about that, audience. But
I feel
thank
like
you
I hit
all.
that low key.
Thank y'all for having me. Yeah, so I'll let you.
I mean, I think I just want to wrap up things by asking, how can we return love to its purest form? Well, what does its purest form look
what
like?
is love in its purest form?
What is love in its
I
purest
think
form?
technically that's also sort of asking, that's a personal question, like
Yeah.
what is love to you? What is love in its purest form to you?
We
always come
we
back to
end
this
every
word.
single one of our meetings, or most of them, by asking, what does love mean to you? Never
Or
asked
we
them on the
usually
podcast.
ask people
Should we
that
ask?
when
Yeah,
we're
we
doing
always
it.
ask
That's
people
what I'm
that.
They
going for.
never ask us.
Right.
Let's ask each other now.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right.
Who goes first?
I'm gonna pull from my love language, and it's
Okay.
acts of service. I love,
Yes, me too.
love doing things for other people,
Oh,
just so that
reverse.
they know that I love them. And I also love receiving acts of service, because I think money means a lot to a lot of people.
It does.
And money also means a lot to me. I think words of affirmation mean a lot to other people, and words of affirmation mean a lot to me. But at the same time, I think the greatest labor of love is time and effort. It
Yeah,
is
it
taking because you can gain money, you can gain words of affirmation, but you can't gain time. So taking the time out of your day to help someone else is the greatest act of love. It's so crazy, because I was planning on sharing this on our next meeting. We always ask, like, what is the greatest act of love that you've ever experienced? I would definitely say, not to keep referring to this move, but when my friends were helping me move, there were so many points during that day. That was like my first like solo, like without parents, just like move. There were so many points during that day where I wanted to break down crying, because I also had to
Yeah.
catch a flight that night too.
Yeah.
So like we started the move. We were supposed to start at like 10. We didn't start until 12 just because of like U-Haul issues and stuff like that. My flight was at 8, so I had roughly between like 6 to 7 hours to move everything from one part of the city to another, and then get to the airport and hop on a flight out of Philadelphia. And I would not have been able to do that without my friends. And I've told them every single day how much I love them for that, because genuinely taking the time out of your day to make probably what was like top 3 one of the most stressful days of my life a lot more easier than it could have been, that's love to me.
Okay.
That is love to me.
Beautiful.
How about you guys?
So real. That's such a good answer, Nathan.
Love to me is definitely time. My 2 love languages are physical touch and quality time. But I think love to me is sacrifice. So I appreciate love more when I can see that you went out of your way to love me. And that probably has something to do with my attachment style. But if you go out of your way to love me, or inconvenience yourself to love me, or put time and effort into loving me, that means a lot to me, because you didn't have to and you wanted to. And so you did. And even if you did not want to, you still did. That means a lot to me, because it's like, wow. Wow. Yeah, I think love for me is sacrifice. Love for me is consideration. And I need one more word. I think love is also patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. Love does not boast, and all those things.
I think for me, if like mentioning love languages, mine is also quality time and acts of service, but acts of service in like a very nichely small way. Like it's weird, but like little things, like I think it comes into play with like memorization or like memory, like remembering.
Like learning you?
Yes. Oh my goodness, like how you just said my order, like that meant so much to me, genuinely. You probably don't even know it, but like that meant so much, because it's like you listen when I speak. Thank you.
I do.
Like, or it's like mentioning like, oh, like I like soup. And
yes, Journey likes chicken pot pie soup.
I love chicken pot pie soup, and I just love soup
dumplings.
in general. And when people will go out and they see soup related stuff and they send me pictures and they're like, I thought of you, I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna start crying in the middle of like this ShopRite. Like this means everything. Just to know that like there are things that you see and you think of me. Like I like lamps. People will go to vintage like stores or thrift stores and take pictures of lamps, and I'm like, this is great. This is all I needed today. And I think acts of service that way, and then also quality time, like going to get soup together and going to look at lamps together means a lot to me. So that's what I think love is.
And
Lastly, Joss.
For me, love is being on a set with you guys. Love is watching all of you grow. Love is seeing how hard you all have worked this summer.
Thank you.
Nathan, when I think about love, especially when you talk about its purest form, I just think about how you showed up as a volunteer one day.
Oh my gosh.
And you worked so hard that day that I like had to hire you. Oh. You never had a job interview because you just worked. How you went to Italy and you worked and you met your deadlines and you communicated when you had challenges. And then when you came back, you just came back to work and you led and you incorporated all of your all of your learning from school into this work. And even as you go off to do some big work with another major news agency, you're like, but I'm still going to work here. That's love to me, Nathan. I'm so proud of you.
Don't make me cry on the podcast.
Taylin.
Yes.
Love is watching you. You did the same thing.
Thank
you showed up at a meeting and I couldn't let you go because you were just brilliant and hilarious, and you were like, I don't have any skills, I don't know, and you have transformed.
Thank you.
You are taking this work very seriously. You come from far, sometimes early in the morning. Mm-hmm. You're traveling on trains to a different state by yourself. You've had to figure out how to navigate certain situations, and you've done all of that because you have loved this work and you have loved the people that you get to interact with. And I'm very proud of you and I'm very grateful for you.
Thank you.
I hope that you do choose to go to college if you have the opportunity to. Okay. And I'll talk to you about that off the podcast. Okay. But I know that whatever you do, you'll always be my superstar, because you are certainly my superstar.
Thank you so much.
And I thank you for all that you've done. Journey.
Oh man,
I gotta not cry.
Oh man.
The second someone says
yeah, I mean,
please.
love is you coming along with me at 10 years old. and just working, carrying my bags, figuring out how to incorporate Love Now Youth. Look at what has happened. Is this not it? You've done it. You've written grants. You've answered calls. You've developed into this very gracious 18-year-old. You've challenged me in ways that, frustrated me at times. You called me out on some of my, lack of understanding and awareness. You continue to show up full, present, committed, and the way that you guys care for the community of people that we engage, the trust that I have when you all go out into the streets and put a microphone in front of people, I know that you're going to love them.
Thank you.
That is priceless. So as we close out this episode of Dinner with Friends, I just, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm sitting here, I'm like tearing. I'm like,
look at the light.
I wanted to take the time to tell you all how much I appreciate you all. I appreciate the work you've done. And I know that each of you has an incredible journey ahead. And I mean, you'll still be here. I mean, you're not going, I'm not really going anywhere, but you are going to college. Actually, can I ask you guys I would like for you to tell your audience, what are you going off to do?
I am going to go intern at MSNBC. Pretty excited about that. Yeah, no, I'm doing an academic year internship at MSNBC. So that's
in New York
in New York. I'm going to be in and out of New York 2 to 3 times a week. So that's definitely
Do you want to say who you're working
for
with?
Joy Reid on the Readout. We're going to be on MSNBC 7 p.m. weekdays. No plug but plug. But yeah, no, I'm pretty excited about that.
Incredible. And Journey?
I'm going to college. I'm 2 days into college. I'm going to college, first year. Very excited. Studying psychology.
Great. And Taylor?
I have no clue.
But whatever you do is going to be great. We know
Thank
that.
you.
So I just wanted to thank you all. I have asked for some gifts. There are some gifts.
Wait,
yeah, so we don't have to pull out what it all is, but this one is yours. And I just wanted to thank you all because I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much. And I thank you for your commitment, for rocking these lover shirts, and for being lovers. Nia, come on over here. Nia, the newest member to the team. Come on.
Yeah. The member that
Nia's been on the team for 4 weeks, but Nia, I just wanted to also thank you because you've been really committed. and you're doing our what is it? Not takeout section.
You ate that.
You ate that. And so with that, I just want to thank you. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for all that you do. You can close it out however you need to.
This is it. We have to just stop.
All you guys, remember to love.
Yeah.
Remember to love in your purest form. Remember to love wholly. And
It's the waterworks over here.
Remember to love purely and remember to love selflessly. We love you and we hope that you love us. And always remember to stay hungry.